I'm Jessica.
I'm Honor.
I'm Haven.
And this is Hayes.
Jessica Alba arrived on the set of the action film with the quiet confidence of someone who had already achieved so much, yet there was a subtle tension in her movements. The lights, cameras, and bustling crew could have been overwhelming for anyone, but Jessica navigated the chaos with grace. Even seasoned actors noticed that beneath her professional exterior there was a depth of focus and sensitivity that made her presence magnetic. I, an older actor who had spent decades in the industry, watched from the sidelines, instinctively drawn to the way she balanced confidence and vulnerability. Something about that night hinted that this project would test more than just our acting skills, it would test our humanity. The weight of the spotlight. From the very first day on set, it was clear that the long hours, intricate scenes, and late-night schedules would test everyone involved, but especially Jessica, who approached every moment with a seriousness and focus that felt almost tangible. She carried herself with a professionalism that made it seem effortless, yet beneath the polished exterior there were subtle glimpses of her humanity. A slight pause before delivering a line, a quiet exhale between takes, the momentary tightening of her shoulders that betrayed fatigue. It was in these fleeting instances, often unnoticed by anyone else, that her resilience shone brightest. The bravery of performance is rarely measured by applause or accolades. It is most evident in how an artist continues to give, moment after moment, when the lights are down and the cameras are paused. Watching Jessica navigate those pressures reminded me that true artistry is inseparable from courage, and that the most profound work often arises from quiet determination as much as visible talent. Finding trust in chaos. On a fast-paced set, skill alone is rarely enough. What sustains a production is the web of trust that develops between people, often in small, almost imperceptible ways. Jessica and I discovered such a partnership, one built not on verbal instruction but on subtle gestures, shared glances, and unspoken reassurance. A hand lightly resting on a shoulder to steady nerves, a glance that said simply, "We've got this," and an intuitive understanding of each other's rhythm formed the foundation of a working relationship that made even the most complex sequences feel manageable. There was no recognition or audience for these moments, yet they were vital. They reminded me that trust is not a one-time declaration but a constant, quiet negotiation, a commitment to shoulder pressure together and to sustain each other through long nights and physical strain. That trust became a lifeline, allowing both of us to navigate the chaos of production with a shared sense of purpose and calm. The first test. One evening during a particularly demanding scene set in a dimly lit warehouse, Jessica faced the kind of challenge that tests not just skill but endurance and emotional presence. The sequence required physical precision and emotional authenticity simultaneously, and midway through, I noticed a subtle hesitation in her movements. It was not fear, but a pause born of intense concentration and accumulated fatigue. That instant revealed something essential about being in the spotlight. The greatest challenge is often internal, a balancing act between physical exhaustion, emotional depth, and the pressure to maintain presence. Yet Jessica did not falter. She drew on a quiet reservoir of resilience, carrying the truth of her character fully, letting the scene breathe naturally, and allowing herself to remain grounded despite the intensity surrounding her. It was a reminder that the unseen labor behind a seamless performance is as heroic as the performance itself. Behind the scenes between takes, the energy on set shifted. The cameras might have paused, but the work continued in a different form. Jessica would step aside to catch her breath, recalibrate, and quietly process the scenes she had just completed. In those moments, the invisible effort that supports every polished performance became apparent. Actors are not invincible. They carry both emotional and physical weight with grace, patience, and discipline. Observing her navigate these transitions revealed a kind of courage often overlooked, the ability to reset, refocus, and return to the set fully present, scene after scene, without diminishing the intensity or authenticity of her work. The discipline to repeatedly show up, maintain emotional integrity, and manage internal pressures is as remarkable as any dramatic flourish on camera. The mentor's role. Having spent years in the rhythms of production, I came to see my role not just as a collaborator, but as a quiet guide, providing subtle support rather than overt instruction. Mentorship in this environment is rarely about lectures or advice. It's about presence, attentiveness, and offering reassurance when doubt or fatigue threatens performance. Jessica, in turn, demonstrated the reciprocal nature of that relationship. Her openness, professionalism, and willingness to absorb guidance while maintaining her own strength taught everyone around her that mentorship flows both ways. Together, we created a dynamic built on trust, empathy, and mutual acknowledgement of the pressures inherent in our work. It was a microcosm of the creative process itself, shared labor, unspoken understanding, and a recognition that resilience is both nurtured and reciprocated. In the midst of the chaos, our partnership made the challenges meaningful and the triumphs quietly profound. Nightfall on the set. Late-night shoots brought a rhythm all their own, transforming the warehouse into a space of shadows, hums of equipment, and quiet intensity. Jessica navigated this nocturnal landscape with a poise that was both professional and deeply human. Small gestures, a hand pressed to her forehead, a sigh of relief after a successful take, a fleeting smile, revealed the delicate balance between exhaustion and focus, vulnerability and strength. In these moments, the boundary between character and actor blurred, showing that the art of performance often lies not just in action but in the authenticity and courage required to inhabit another reality fully, even in the most challenging conditions. Facing challenges. Together. Technical glitches, scheduling conflicts, and high expectations created moments of tension, yet Jessica consistently approached these obstacles with composure and adaptability. We navigated the challenges together, offering quiet encouragement, sharing practical strategies, and using humor to lighten the weight of pressure. It became evident that the creation of art relies not only on individual talent but on collective resilience and mutual support. Each challenge, no matter how small, reinforced the truth that strength is often found in collaboration, empathy, and persistence, and that even minor gestures of solidarity can sustain people in the most intense professional environments. The first breakthrough. One particularly intricate scene demanded both precise timing and authentic emotional expression. Jessica executed it with a seamless blend of focus, creativity, and emotional truth, radiating a performance that was as compelling as it was effortless. Watching her in that moment, it was clear that mastery of craft is not merely technical. It is the result of years of dedication, disciplined self-awareness, and a willingness to inhabit vulnerability fully. Her example reminded everyone on set that heroism in art is measured less by spectacle than by the quiet, unwavering commitment to presence, integrity, and excellence, even when the work is invisible to the audience. The power of observation. Throughout production, I recognized the profound influence of attentiveness. By observing, listening, and offering silent support, I discovered that presence can be as powerful as instruction. Jessica's ability to navigate complex emotional and physical demands, maintain focus, and respond to unseen pressures highlighted how empathy and care foster resilience. True artistry, I realized, is built not only on performance but on understanding, support, and collaboration. These small, attentive acts created a foundation for trust and growth that extended beyond the confines of any script or set, demonstrating that leadership and courage are often expressed quietly rather than publicly. A moment of reflection. During a brief pause, I had the opportunity to speak with Jessica about the unique pressures of the entertainment industry and the way she stayed grounded. She shared insights about balancing energy, maintaining focus, and finding joy amid relentless demands. In that conversation, I understood that acknowledging vulnerability is not a weakness. It is an essential component of resilience. Jessica's reflections highlighted the importance of self-awareness, self-care, and honest assessment of one's limits, lessons that apply not only to performers but to anyone navigating high-pressure environments with dedication and integrity. Unity in performance. As filming progressed, Jessica's confidence grew, not because challenges became easier but because she had cultivated resilience and trust through each experience. Every scene demanded collaboration, adaptability, and courage, and she consistently exemplified these qualities in ways that inspired her colleagues. Her approach demonstrated a fundamental truth. Success is not merely measured by flawless execution, but by the perseverance, integrity, and support one brings to each moment. Her presence elevated the collective performance of the cast, showing that true artistry flourishes in environments where courage and compassion are mutual and shared. Standing Strong One climactic scene required maximum emotional authenticity and focus, placing extraordinary demands on Jessica. She approached the sequence with calm intensity, balancing control, emotional depth, and vulnerability. Observing her, I realized that courage often manifests quietly, in the willingness to remain fully present even under pressure, rather than in grand gestures. Her ability to stand strong, both in performance and in the management of her own energy and focus, illustrated the subtle power of presence and the importance of aligning skill with emotional honesty, showing that true strength is often internal and enduring. Triumph over adversity. By the final weeks of production, Jessica had become a quiet force on set, embodying resilience, focus, and integrity in ways that went far beyond technical skill or screen presence. Every day presented a new challenge, demanding physical sequences, emotionally charged scenes, and tight schedules, but she met each obstacle with steady composure, an attentive awareness of others, and a calm determination that inspired those around her. Her approach revealed that true artistry is inseparable from humanity. It is not only about delivering lines, executing movements, or hitting marks, but about understanding, connecting, and adapting with empathy. Watching Jessica navigate moments of uncertainty demonstrated that professional success is grounded in emotional intelligence, perseverance, and consistent effort, and that these qualities can elevate an entire production by modeling how to respond to difficulty without losing oneself. Recognition and respect. As the shoot progressed, admiration for Jessica grew steadily, extending well beyond her on-camera work to encompass her personal character, patience, and steadfast professionalism. Colleagues noticed how she balanced creative demands with attentiveness to others, offering guidance to less experienced performers, maintaining morale, and reinforcing collaboration through her quiet leadership. It became clear that her presence contributed more than individual scenes. It nurtured a collective environment where everyone could thrive. Observing her navigate the pressures of production reinforced a universal lesson. Achievement is measured not solely by accolades, applause, or public recognition, but by the consistent demonstration of integrity, empathy, and reliability. Jessica's example showed that long-term respect and influence are earned through subtle acts of perseverance and care, often more meaningful than immediate acknowledgement or external praise. The power of support. Working alongside Jessica revealed the profound impact of a culture built on mutual support, shared responsibility, and attentiveness to the well-being of others. Great performances rarely emerge in isolation. They flourish in environments where trust, understanding, and encouragement are present. Jessica's consistent focus on collaboration, offering quiet mentorship to fellow actors, listening without judgment, and creating a sense of shared accountability, allowed the production to move forward with confidence and cohesion. These acts, though small and often unnoticed by outsiders, built the foundation for a creative space where risk-taking was encouraged and mistakes were treated as opportunities rather than failures. Her example highlighted the truth that resilience is rarely individual. It is amplified when supported, nurtured, and shared, and that the combination of individual focus and collective care produces outcomes richer than any solitary achievement. Lessons learned. Reflecting on the production, it became clear that the most enduring lessons were not the spectacular stunts, technical feats, or cinematic achievements, but the human connections forged under pressure. Jessica's dedication, focus, and empathy illuminated an essential truth. The moments that test patience, courage, and collaboration are the ones that shape character, professionalism, and long-term growth. Observing her navigate challenges, sometimes visible, sometimes quietly managed, demonstrated that integrity and empathy are as vital as skill and talent in determining the quality of both work and relationships. Every shared experience, whether a long rehearsal, a difficult scene, or a spontaneous problem-solving moment, became an opportunity to witness the intersection of perseverance and humanity. In this way, the production became more than a film. It became a microcosm of life lessons on resilience, mutual respect, and commitment to shared goals. Moving forward. By the time the final scenes approached, the set had transformed into a space defined not by stress or urgency, but by trust, mutual respect, and a sense of shared purpose. Jessica approached each remaining moment with calm focus and poise, demonstrating both her character's arc and her personal growth. Observing her navigate late-night shoots, emotionally demanding sequences, and complex choreography reinforced a critical understanding. Courage is not always loud or public. It often exists quietly in the sustained effort to meet challenges while maintaining composure, integrity, and empathy. The work accomplished together told a story not only of cinematic narrative but of human endurance, adaptability, and cooperation. Her influence extended beyond lines and cues. It shaped a collaborative atmosphere where everyone felt valued and capable, emphasizing the profound link between personal growth and collective achievement. A quiet victory. When the cameras stopped rolling for the final time, the crew shared a brief collective pause of recognition, acknowledging the work, perseverance, and humanity that had carried the production. Jessica and I exchanged glances that conveyed gratitude, understanding, and respect, acknowledging not only the technical accomplishments but also the emotional and relational labor invested over weeks of intense work. The triumph was quiet, understated, and deeply human, measured not by applause, media attention, or immediate accolades, but by the consistency of effort, courage under pressure, and genuine human connection demonstrated throughout. Every scene, rehearsal, and small act of support contributed to a larger narrative, one that reflected not only the story on screen but the collaborative resilience, focus, and integrity that made its creation possible. The strength within. Emerging from the production, Jessica embodied more than talent. She reflected endurance, grace, and leadership by example. Her ability to sustain concentration, navigate pressure, and inspire those around her illustrated the essence of human strength. The lessons learned alongside her, trust, empathy, courage, and shared responsibility, highlighted an essential truth. The most profound victories are often unseen, yet deeply felt by those who witness dedication and character in action. Her model of quiet strength offered a template for how individuals can influence a collective effort, demonstrating that leadership is not about visibility or assertion, but about reliability, attentiveness, and the steady, consistent application of integrity. Those lessons lingered beyond the production, shaping perspectives on teamwork, resilience, and the subtle yet powerful ways individuals can uplift others. Legacy of courage. Looking back, the production stands as a testament to resilience, integrity, and understated heroism. Jessica's journey illustrates that true achievement is measured not solely by success or recognition, but by the willingness to confront challenges with honesty, support those around you, and uphold one's values even under pressure. In a field often defined by spectacle, attention, and immediate visibility, her story affirms a quieter truth. Perseverance, empathy, and consistent dedication shine far brighter and endure longer than any moment of public acclaim. The lessons observed on set about collaboration, resilience, patience, and respect resonate beyond filmmaking, offering a timeless reflection on human potential. They remind us that the strength to act with integrity, to support others, and to persist in the face of adversity defines a legacy that endures, inspiring those who witness it to embrace both competence and compassion in their own lives.